Hey y'all, it's CherokeeStarfish and welcome back for episode 20 of Icewind Dale, the Heart of Winter. Man, it has been a long ride. There's been so much to do. Ooh, this vessel appears to have been dropped here. Claw marks are evident on the remains. Well, I mean, we know where we're going, right? It has been made clear. So our final enemy here at the conclusion of the game is IcasaREKT, that powerful ice dragon that we have been hearing about and thought was dealt with this entire game. Turns out that sword that we have did put her down. She recognized it and hated it, but she's back. There we go. Well, that's all right. Oh, wait, here we go. Yeah. We'll just have him attack them. There we go. That lovely fire damage. If only it worked on every hit. Really not certain why they chose to make that that decision, but where it doesn't work on every single attack. But whatevs. Whatevs. It's cool. So the Isle of IcasaREKT here, named for the dragon that used to live on it. The tribe of the Great Worm made their sacrifices here in order to propitiate what history now tells us was a great spirit. But of course, we know the truth. Actually, it was a dragon. We're going to take care of her once and for all, hopefully. She'll leave the Dale lands alone. Another fascinating level design choice. I like the aesthetic of this island. This vessel has been broken in half and then dropped among the ice. Ooh, scrags. Basically marine trolls. Let's take care of these mooks and get them out of the way. Excellent.
I'm on it.
I don't think there's anything too interesting back here, but we'll take what we can get. Hey. All right. That's most of it. I'll go ahead and put this stuff away, just so we can do a little bit less inventory management later. Trying to minimize how often I have to click into this backpack. Namji's robe. A wizard from Thesk named Namji was the creator of this powerful robe. Oh, what was your first clue? While it does not impart a host of magical resistances to the wearer, it is extremely useful for spellcasters who find themselves in dangerous situations often. Namji himself was a reckless battle wizard who delighted in hurling spells from the midst of the fray. He was feared for his use of Namji's Burning Hands, an adaptation of the common Burning Hands spell. Gives you AC 5, regenerate 1 hit point per round. That's not bad, actually. I don't think we're going to use it. It's just simply not better than the robe that Keishara's already got. All of those other protections. Regenerating 1 hit point per round. That's pretty good because it's pretty quick, especially considering that she has the fewest hit points out of anybody, but still. Ice golems. They're just kind of hanging out. I don't know if Keishara speaks Ice Golem, but... Eyes filled with hatred and bloodlust gaze upon you steadily. There is no other reaction from the creature. Okay, well then. Nope. They react now. Okay, here we go, folks. This is the last dungeon. Woo-wee. Ah, Yetis. But not just any Yeti, special Yetis. Ooh, Bone Scavenger. Come on. These trolls are so annoying when they won't go down. It's like I'm already gonna have to kill you twice anyway. Come on. Alright, Motmic. A lot of pearls here. Which, I mean, it makes sense. This is kind of an aquatic area. I'm certainly not mad. Come on, just 1 point of fire damage, please. Anytime. I'm trying not to use all of our fire spells because we're probably going to need those fairly soon for other enemies. Motmic. Motmic, please. Please, Motmic. Oh my gosh. I'm dying. There we go. Lord. How many attacks did that take? This is also... I've always felt this was a really awkward mechanic to represent trolls' regenerative powers. Like, it doesn't matter how much damage you deal to them of any type other than fire or acid, you just simply... They just don't die. Oh my gosh. Motmic, please. I'm begging you. Thank you, God. I hate snow trolls. I hate trolls in general, but I'm just sick of snow trolls. Because there have been so many of them recently. Come on. Let's see, does she have a burning hands? She does. What? How do you reckon that big old cone only hit one of those trolls? You've got to be kidding me. Okay, well, I won't complain then. Motmic did a lot better that time. A lot faster. RN Jesus was with us. Let's get these other guys out of here first, the ones who will actually die. More pearls, nice. This is most of this dungeon, so... It's just beating on a bunch of ice-themed enemies in a snow cave. Come on. Go ahead and pick up these gems. There we go. See, when his dagger works, it's actually not so bad. But it just... I would really be interested to know. I would kind of like to almost, like, talk to a developer and ask that question. Oh, good. Some more flaming oil. Like, why did they make that decision? Cloak of Invisibility. Nice! Cloaks of Invisibility are very popular among thieves and adventurers in general. Unfortunately, they are also very expensive. The wizard Cheston of Procampur decided to make some money when he set out to make this particular cloak for the Walkinar priest Bertrand of Suzail. Bertrand used the cloak effectively until he came up against a demonic foe that could see right through the illusion. Bertrand's body was never found, but the tattered cloak continued to work wonders for Bertrand's comrade, the thief Dacon Blackwood. Dacon eventually ran afoul of a thieves' guild in Sembia, and he was believed to have escaped their wrath by traveling to Burdusk. How this cloak arrived at its recent resting place is unknown. Invisibility 3 times per day, but 24 hours, or until they attack or otherwise reveal themselves. Yes, give me dragons. Give us something other than trolls. I'm just so sick of trolls. Come in. They got hung up on geometry, like I often do. Yeah, I wonder if... Because I don't think that that's how it worked in the, like, original Icewind Dale. So why they changed it in the Enhanced Edition, I can only assume that it's for balancing issues or something. There we go. Alright. The next level. And immediately troll. Immediately. Come on. Ooh, water weird over there. Should put that shield on Astrid so it doesn't attack her. Go down. Go. So rude. This turned out to be Wand of Armory. There. Maybe more than one magic missile is necessary. We'll leave Motmic to beat on this thing until he stabs it to death. Ooh. Okay, well, quite reasonably, they can't reach it, so... Have Motmic bring up the rear here with his fire dagger. There we go, he got one. I'm almost starting to get like a soft spot for the ice trolls because they just die. They just die when you kill them. Sounds like a crummy marketing slogan. Ice trolls. They die when you kill them. There we go. Hey. Okay, let's see. Well, need some sustained damage. Does she have any attack spells? Hold your horses. I'm coming. I'll deal with you in a moment. He's got an acid storm. Here. There we go. It's been so long since we've had them on ranged attacks. And now we wait. There we go. Not really even very far in.
Agreed.
Come on. Alright, Scrags, we can deal with that. We'll go ahead and divide and conquer. She can work on the water weird while everybody else beats up these trolls. Alright. This level's a little more kind of twisty-turny. Instead of having one path that it sort of railroads you on, I think this one is a bit more convoluted. There's still only one way to really go, but you can see how it sort of divides around, and there's a bit more going around. Let's see. There we go. Gotta go this way. More trolls, of course. My least favorite enemies, honestly. I would rather fight the Rakshasa. Whoop. There we go. Come on. At least there's only one snow troll this time. That's not that bad. Now if Motmic will just stab it with fire. Hey! On command. This way. Ooh, and now some skeletons. Cold bones. Iced bones. Frozen bones. So many bones. There we go. And a bone scavenger. fight these up here. The ice storm is over. Good. That's a lot of bones. No wonder there were undead here. Oh my god, here, let it out. Let it come this way. There we go, now more than one of you can hit it. Phew. Alright. Let's see what's buried here. And immediately. We haven't been using this. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in. I'm kind of disappointed that those books never actually came up. I thought that they would. Could have sworn that there was, you know, at some point they told you about those books way back in the Severed Hands so that you could make use of them. I was disappointed to be wrong. There we go. Quite a bit of treasure to pick up over here. A lot of skulls, too. Why do we need these skulls? Alright, let's identify some of this stuff and see if we got any good loot. Chainmail +2, not bad, but not useful. Small shield +1, the same. Amulet of protection +1, likewise, unfortunately. Wand of lightning, yeah. Absolute immunity. Spell trap. Alright, folks. More bone scavengers. And more bones! With all these bone scavengers in here, why weren't they scavenging these bones? I demand to know. It's false advertising. Come on. Ooh. Hey, there's a sound we like to hear. And again. Nice. Phew. Alright. Another small shield +1. I figured, but you always got to check. Astrid leveled up. Nice. And who melts? Oh, Keishara. Again, nice. Ooh, 9th level spell slot. I'm loving that. How about another meteor swarm, since that is fire damage? We can make use of that for sure. What is that? That almost looks like a boulette skeleton because of the fin kind of back there. That looks like a dead bear, sort of. No, I guess not. It has ancient armor, so presumably it was a person. Maybe a giant? Ring of Protection +2. I'm always so sad when we pick those up. Ring of Infravision. Hey. Let's see. I can't believe we just now found one of these, like, this far into the game. We'll give it to Astrid since she has an open ring slot and doesn't have dark vision. Go ahead and toss these in the bag. Oh, the container is full. Well, wasn't expecting that. Let's hope that doesn't happen with some of our others. That's my fault for not selling things. Oh, Lord, you again.
A stout sword and sturdy shield can take you far.
This wand doesn't have many charges left, but there's no reason to save them. It just shoots one magic missile at a time, so... we'll get rid of it and free up a slot for something else. Maybe we will use that Wand of Lightning after all.
Agreed.
Alright, continuing on. Unfortunately, I do have a criticism of this part of the game, which is that I feel as though this final dungeon does something that I always advise people against, which is it's just filler combat, and this is kind of a hack and slash dungeon crawl game. So at the time that they were doing this, I get why it came out that way. It's, you know, the engine in the game that they were working with. And the games did get more complex as they went along. You know, you see that Planescape Torment had a lot less of that, in my opinion. But I think that it's very important in a game like Dungeons & Dragons to recognize that combat is the part that usually takes the longest at the table, and it is also the part that most people tend to find least interesting. At least I do. You know, I think after one or two battles, I'm kind of done and I want to do something else. That's why it's called a role-playing game. There are lots of people out there who are really passionate about the combat, and that's fine. But it's just not like the be-all and end-all of the game, and even if it is for you, I think that it's still important that combat should not be filler. Combat should be, you know, it should be interesting, or it shouldn't be there, to me. If it's not meaningful, if it doesn't move the story along, you know, if it's not engaging, then don't do it. Fill that time with something else or skip over that section. Versus shapeshifters. That would have been useful back in Trials of the Lure Master. Gauntlets of Ogre Power. Mithril Field Plate Armor +2. Cloak of Protection +2. I think that goes in the bag. Gauntlets of Ogre Power. Does anybody not have gloves? Oh, okay. Oh, and of course, in case you can't see, that is a whole dragon right there.
I'm on it.
Is that IcasaREKT? No, because she's dead at the bottom of Lake Denishir.
We'll see about that.
I'm listening.
Zactau, Bone Guard Skeletons.
We'll see about that.
Here we go. I am Zactile, priestess of Sekolah and custodian of the Field of Bones. How may I serve you? Why are you friendly? This is the Field of Bones. It is a holy place to the Sohuagin who live here. It is here that they come when it is their time to die. Oh, like an elephant graveyard. Those who near death come to me. I tend them to make their passing as easy and painless as possible. Once their spirit has transcended, I place their bones to rest here. How do you do that? Tell us more. Some I return to the sea. Others are used here in the construction of this temple. Weird and wild. All who come to me may choose one or the other. Okay, there are more than just Sahuagin bones here. IcasaREKT wills it so. She orders the bone scavengers to bring all the dead here. She feels it discourages intruders. Okay, what about this large skeleton? Some say it was IcasaREKT's mate. Others say it was her rival. No one knows for certain. It has been here for all time. And speaking of IcasaREKT, she lies beyond the door at the rear of the temple. I must ask you not to pursue her, Dry One. Leave this place in peace. Why do you protect her, though? It is not IcasaREKT that I protect, but my former people. They have served her for centuries, and know no other way of life. They will die rather than allow you to reach her. That is unfortunate, because, I mean, we don't want to kill innocent people if we don't have to. But at the same time, IcasaREKT is the bigger threat, so if they don't get out of our way... My position as custodian of the Field of Bones is one of honor and loneliness. I am denied contact with the living until it is their time to pass on. I have spent almost my entire life among the dead. I fear that I have lost whatever it once was that bound me to my people. She'll sell us healing services, though. Well, unfortunately, we all know, like, we gotta go this way. There's just not really anything else that we can do about that. So... I don't remember if there's anything good on the altar. Oh, there's a trap. And some armor. Hatheland doesn't care, though. We could have disarmed that, but whatever. Mourner's armor +4. Hey! This unique suit of armor is of foreign design, created for a Karaturan samurai. Okay, and that's like... Karatur is essentially the China analog of the Forgotten Realms. It's like generic Far East. From the Baika clan. Baika clan? The armor, crafted from thin, stiff leather, is dyed black, but features the insignia of the plum blossom. The Mon of the Baika clan. It was only worn into battle once, when Baika Himuro fought a hopeless battle against the enemy samurai that flooded into his ancestral estate. It is believed that the enemy clan captured the armor and later traded it for siege equipment. Wow. Gives you missile resistance 75%, plus 25 maximum hit points, screws with all of your thief skills, gives you immunity to pain, and you cannot see your current hit points. May only be removed with a remove curse spell. AC 4. Well, it's not bad, but it's not better than any of the armor I think that we really have. Unless it could potentially be a little... No, because that's +4, so yeah, it's not even better than that. Not that we'd put it on him anyway. I was going to say, like, you know, who cares? Because the other one gives him so many bonuses. Alright, let's go through here. Vadyanoi. Sorry, folks. You know, we don't want to tear through you like this, but it just is what it is. There's something we haven't seen for a while. Ooh, Bolt of Sakola's Fire. This long metal tube is fitted with a plunger at one end. The tube is filled with a viscous jelly-like substance that reeks of fish. When placed in a crossbow and fired, the plunger ejects the contents in a 40-foot-long stream. Upon contact with the air, the jelly ignites, leaving a trail of flame as it flies toward a target. Any target struck is coated by the jelly and begins to burn as well. These bolts are a favored weapon of high-ranking Sahuagin. Wow, okay, so that literally is just napalm. Dang. Let's see, bolt +2, tranquil bolts.
I'm on it.
Ooh, another ice golem sentry. There's a lot of traps here, but I mean, we can't search for them while there's combat like this anyway, so... There we go. I'll have him look, but... See, because if he's fighting, then it automatically stops looking for traps. Oof. Oh, man. Yeah, this temple's kind of set out in like a wedge pattern. Anytime there, Sana. You wanna finish that thing off?
Here.
Keishara will help you. Oh man. She ran out. I don't want her to use up all of her fire arrows. Come on, Keishara. There we go.
I await your instructions.
Done. I'm here. Agreed.
Oh, Lord. Traps, traps everywhere. This is a dragon's lair. A temple to a dragon, you know.
Orders? Agreed.
This device seems to be processing some sort of viscous oil. Maybe that's where they make the gelignite or the napalm or whatever you want to call it for the Sakola's fire. Could be. Could be. Looks like we're picking up some more of those, though. Which is awesome, because that way we'll have a decent ranged attack. For Motmic, when it comes time to fight IcasaREKT. Let's see. More of them. Excellent. Oh, actually. I want to see if... Okay, it's just full. I was hoping those would stack with some others that were already in there. He can go look for some traps. We all do this. Oh my gosh. So sick of traps. Alright. That'll take care of the melee. And Motmic leveled up, so I mean... Nice. go ahead and take care of that. There. Surely he can find traps now. Hey, nice. Any more to be found? I love that it's like right under the ice golem. Ah, there are more. Holy, okay.
I'm listening. Done.
Okay.
Well,
I
let's disarm these traps that we can reach, and then I think we're just going to have to make a decision to go through these golems. But that's alright. Okay.
I'll do my best to keep us out.
Oh goodness. Well, this should be fun. That is a lot of Sahuagin. Sahuagin. Oh man, get out of there.
here.
What are y'all doing?
Agreed.
Why is she back there?
You would do well to fear a woman's wrath.
Don't want to use a meteor swarm, that's a bit much.
You would do well to fear a woman's wrath.
I'm on it.
I'll do my best to keep us
The
out of
hell's
trouble.
come with me?
Consider it done.
Oh my gosh. The clicking sound of all those traps. Okay. Ooh, big guy. Sahuagin Prince.
You would do well to fear a woman's wrath.
Death comes for you.
Oh, that's why she was standing back there. She's still set to sling bullets. Oh gosh. Okay.
Death comes for you.
All right. One last one, I think, over here.
Hell's come with me?
Phew.
Watch me go.
Okay, we're just gonna take a moment here and see if we can come up with any traps. Of course, now we won't. Oh, I'm surprised, honestly. I was gonna say honestly didn't think that we would find any, just because we probably stepped on them all by this point, so...
We'll see about that.
Magic spears. There we go. Coral plate armor and shark skin armor.
Done.
It's like regular leather and plate. And this engraving appears to have been magical at one time, and this stand is surrounded by the pieces of a shattered gem. Of course, there's another one over there that's not quite shattered.
Sounds good to me.
And these pots had better be trapped. Look at this. Honestly, it's kind of neat. I like the design.
I'm on it. Guard.
Sounds good to me. I am ready as wool, so be it.
Go grab those scrolls. Never know what they could be. Wish. Well, look at that. Look at that. Lovely. Nice. Time stop. Hey now. And spell strike. My goodness gracious. That's some powerful stuff. Let's... Actually, energy drain's not been very useful. Wish. Time stop. There we go.
Yes?
Let's identify all the stuff that we found. +1 spears. I don't know that we've ever seen a +1 spear, actually. It took us ages to find a decent magical spear for Sana during our adventures. The unstrung harp. Ooh. The instrument of a beatified saint of the Church of Ilmater, this harp once belonged to Sephika of Ordulan. Sephika was a bard, but she did not worship the Lord of Songs, Meliel. Instead, she devoted herself to performing ballads to the suffering throngs of Ilmatari everywhere. She was traveling with a group of Ilmatari pilgrims when they were attacked by bandits. The bandits killed and severely injured many of the pilgrims, and they cut the strings of Sephika's harp when she tried to soothe the injured travelers. After the bandits had left, Sephika prayed to Ilmater for help in a time of crisis. When she plucked at her harp strings with her eyes closed in prayer, music miraculously poured forth and healed every person who heard it. The next day, the bandits arrived and killed Sephika for healing the pilgrims. Though she was killed, the pilgrims kept the memory of her miracle alive. Their community attempted to have her accepted as an Ilmatari saint, and they succeeded in 1218 DR. This harp can only be played by a bard of exceptional virtue, wisdom, and talent, so heal once per day. 13 wisdom, and you have to be good. Wow. That means Sana can't use it, because her wisdom is 12. Wow. Unfortunate. That would be a really good item for her to have, actually. Scepter of Tyranny +4. Hey. Owned and enchanted by an archetypal priest of Bane, the Scepter of Tyranny was at the forefront of many terrible battles. Arkendros of Bane was a snide, malicious man of almost perfect mental and physical abilities. He could be found leading groups of impressionable young fighters, rogues, and other assorted thugs in press gangs wandering Waterdeep. Faced with opposition, Arkendros would simply employ the power of the black and red scepter and urge his minions into the retreating crowds. The charismatic Bainite was eventually killed in battle by a priest of Torm and his paladin comrades. +1 to charisma, immunity to fear, cloak of fear once a day, domination once per day, and it counts as a +4 club. And you don't have to be evil to use it? Wild. Lover +4. Let's see. Fell Brownbriars was a half-elven thief of notoriety in Waterdeep. His list of conquests, both romantic and larcenous, was too long for even bards to recite. The dagger he kept at his side was decorated with a ruby heart, and it became coveted by a small group of rivals in the great city. Fell was eventually murdered at the hands of a seductress so clever that not even the prescient half-elf could see her malicious intent. The woman, Prespera of Orlumbor, sold the dagger for a hefty sum and disappeared into obscurity, and it is a +4 returning dagger. Cool. He can hang on to that. Oh wow, his lore was actually high enough to identify that. That's wild. Pestilent Dawn +4. Ooh. A nasty-looking weapon covered in rust and grime, Pestilent Dawn was created by a priest of Talona, the goddess of disease, named Tamberlin. The Morning Star consists of a grip wrapped in human hair, a stout oak handle, and a rusty iron head set with teeth taken from rabid bears. Pestilent Dawn is typically only used by Talonites, as the sight of the weapon usually unnerves common folk. Immune to disease and 25% chance to disease the target. Ugh. The Icon of Power. The Temple of Leviatar, in the Vale of Wailing Women, called the Black Spires of the Maiden, has always enjoyed the freedom from good-aligned churches that so many other evil temples long for. However, the large temple requires a huge body of standing soldiers to protect it from attackers and spies. The head of the temple guard is known as the Whip of Obedience. He used to be traditionally equipped with a magical halberd called the Icon of Power. When the temple guards saw the icon pass them on their rounds, they took a little more care in their duties. Unfortunately for the whip, a clever human thief from El Turel decided to capture the icon as a personal challenge. The thief, whose name is still unknown, succeeded at his task and sold the icon to the Church of Bane. The Baneites held the icon out of contempt for the late whip's incompetence. Eventually, the icon was lost when the desert temple where it was held, the Obsidian Chapel, was sacked by Badine raiders. Symbol of pain 3 times a day. Man. That's some wild stuff in this temple. Debian's Rod of Smiting. Whoa. Okay, rods of smiting are extremely uncommon weapons, so they can be very useful against some foes. This particular rod was last in the possession of a priest of Gond, god of invention, named Debian of Urmlaspir. Debian was an eccentric adventurer who took it upon himself to investigate every type of golem that had been reported in the realms. In many cases, the creator of the golem would send his or her creations after Debian for his snooping. Debian usually escaped without much personal harm. Unfortunately for Debian, his luck ran out when he investigated the lair of the Machinery Man, a bizarre lich who happened to be a creator of golems and other animated constructs. The Machinery Man's lab full of iron golems proved to be too much for Debian to overcome. An extra 1d8 plus 3 damage versus golems and a 5% chance to destroy them in one shot, and against outer planar creatures a 5% chance to deal extra 8d3 damage. Ooh. Not bad. Okay, well. Wild.
Sounds good to me.
Oop. You destroyed the preservation ward on the young dragon body, allowing it to die. Oh man. We didn't really get much description there, so there was a gemstone with a young dragon inside of it. I guess. Or maybe that was this over here, but either way we didn't really see it.
Guard. Agreed.
Okay, well. Ah. Careful, Motmic. Oh, that is Sekola's fire. Almost missed that. I'm glad to have some more of those bolts. Awesome. Doesn't open the door, but Ah, there we go. We were missing an actual key. Hatheland can hang on to that. I forgot there was a key. I thought that breaking that actually is what opened the door.
So, you dare to follow me here. I think you will find that to be a fatal mistake.
Well, we didn't come this far to not fight a dragon. Especially not if our option is, let me leave this place rather than you leaving this place. There you go. Our first actual dragon in all of this Dungeons and Dragons. Well, fatal only to you, IcasaREKT.
Spoken like a true hero. Shall we put those words to the test?
Let's see. First, yes, we're curious. Returning here made it easy to find you. Why?
I feared as much, but I had little choice. It was a calculated risk.
Why?
To cheat death itself, to be born anew, as you see me now. Only by returning here could I do this.
Why?
When I built this lair, I included 2 special wards. One would serve as a beacon that would allow my spirit to find its way here upon my death, and the other would preserve a body almost indefinitely.
Oop, that's the one that we broke.
I then reared 2 offspring, devoid of their spirits, and placed their bodies in the preservation wards. The plan was simple. If I were to die, my spirit would return here and find a new body in which to live again.
Sort of like a lich. So she set things up with an empty body that's almost kind of like a clone, you know? One of her offspring, but no soul inside. And so one of those was shattered because that's probably the body she returned to. The other one that we shattered a moment ago will prevent her from jumping to that one. That also explains why she's this size versus like that skeleton out front was huge, because she's not fully grown yet. We've caught her kind of in the middle of recovering. But go on, monologue more about your evil plans.
While their flesh was yet unformed, I warded the eggs so that no spirit could find a home within them.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, your own offspring, huh?
Would you rather I had bore them normally and then stripped their spirits from them? No. By doing what I did, they were nothing more than empty shells, ready for use.
Okay, that's still creepy, though.
Unfortunately, their father felt as you do and objected to my plan. Had he agreed to it, he could have shared immortality with me.
And that's his skeleton outside?
Yes, he attacked me and had to be slain. I regret, but it had to be.
Indeed. And why do you hate the 10 Towns so much?
Ages ago, dragonkind roamed Faerun freely. Then the civilized races came to power and began to encroach upon our lands. Bloody wars were fought in which your kind launched entire armies upon us. Against such numbers, even we soon fell. Now we are solitary creatures who hide in caves in faraway lands. We fear sleep, for it is often the sleep of death if we are discovered.
And what does that have to do with this area specifically? She kind of almost talks about it like she was there.
I was slain fighting for my homeland against an invading army. Aihonen, a man of the 10 Towns, wielded the blade that broke my heart.
Yeah, that's not how history tells it.
Yes, and history is written by the victors, as they say. It is also said that history repeats itself.
How so?
Look at the plight of the barbarians. Even now, they are being driven from their lands by the 10 Towns. Soon they will be left with two choices, extinction or absorption. They are a proud people and will not bend. They will choose extinction. An entire culture will vanish, lost forever, all in the name of civilization, just as my culture has been lost.
So, yeah, you can see even here at the end, with everything that we've been through, and as horrible as the dragon is, there's kind of like a message here, which we felt that throughout Heart of Winter. That, there's a statement to be made on the idea of, like, colonialism and imperialism and, taking the land from the indigenous peoples and that sort of thing. And it's a bit touch and go in the manner in which it's delivered, uh, but it's my man Cornflake's got the spirit, I guess. But okay, we know you weren't doing this out of altruism.
When I awakened from my sleep, I looked upon the world anew, and I was shocked to see how little had changed. My lands were still in the hands of the 10 Towns. The plight of the barbarians had not changed at all. I saw a kindred spirit in Wolfdane, so I joined with him to end this tragedy once and for all.
Oh, why did it take you 100 years to come back?
The sword of Aihonen had a special enchantment, almost an intelligence of its own. When the fatal blow was struck, it somehow knew that I would be born anew.
And of course we know that the blade of Aihonen was forged by Tiernan the dwarf, so it's a really good and really powerful weapon. And he even kind of talked about its intelligence, so that makes sense.
The blade broke, sacrificing itself that I might be trapped. My spirit lay within my shattered heart at the bottom of Lac Dinishare. I can only guess that the blade was removed, allowing my spirit to go free.
So that goes all the way back to the very beginning, where that naiad who fell in love with Jonan, she pulled the sword out as a gift to him, and that's what started all of this and allowed IcasaREKT to come back in between the end of Icewind Dale Vanilla and the beginning of Heart of Winter. So there. Well, so this is kind of a big deal here, like, if we say this, she's definitely going to fight us. Should we talk to her? I mean, she's a monster, and even though there's some sympathy there, she's still a monster. You can have sympathetic motives, and it's like, cool motive, still murder. So we came all this way to fight a dragon, knowing that that's what we were going to do. But are we going to talk to the dragon instead? Are we going to, maybe we can come to some sort of agreement? She's probably going to say no anyway. We've come a long way, and that sword has been a part of our story the entire time. I guess since Tiernan tuned it for us, no pun intended, considering that it's, the whole singing thing, we should give it its moment to shine.
Yes, I sensed the blade when you first entered here and was concerned. However, I now see that the original enchantment was not restored. it is of no consequence.
Oh, well, so not only does she not care, but now we have to talk to her anyway, so.
Never. My heart was shattered long ago, and all mercy bled from the wound. I lost my love, my life, and my kingdom. I shall reclaim it all, or I will pass into oblivion like most of my kind. Draw your blade. Let us end this now.
Well, here we go.
So be it.
Okay, folks. And there's the sword. Let's get her henchman. Let's do this. It all comes down to this. Oh.
Ready.
There we go. We're gonna need some more of those. Ooh, white dragon scales, hey. Anything else we can pick up?
Orders. I'll wash me beard in your
IcasaREKT Soul Gem.
Sounds good to me.
Oof. Alright, let's grab this and see if any of it can help us in this fight here. That's just going to be a +1 spear. Cloak of Displacement, nice. Gauntlets of Ogre Power. Bolt +2. Okay. Heavy Crossbow +1. Alright. Let's see. I think we need to heal Hatheland there.
I'm ready.
Let's do this. Phew. Phew-wee.
I'm listening. I'm on it.
Everybody run down here. There's a lot of magic still going on. Phew. We had some folks who were hit by those Sekola's fire bolts that the Sahuagin had. Whew-wee. Well. That sure was a trip. Goodness gracious. Okay. I'll level up. I'll level up. Ooh, weapon proficiency. What did we put that in? Longbow. Hatheland's gonna level up as well. Whew. Well, folks. There you go. Bask in it. That is one dead dragon.
With the death of IcasaREKT's spirit, centuries of hate were at long last put to rest. The tribes of the north and the people of the 10 towns sheathed their weapons and resumed their uneasy watchfulness of each other. It was a peace of sorts, for as long as peace ever lasts. Muftain's body was returned to the burial isle. With his return, the wailing of the virgins fell silent, and they slept beneath the earth with their king once again. And of those brave ones that came to defend the north, what of you? As I look upon you all, I see you as you once were, as you will be, branching out to glittering futures. Tales follow you, and tales await you, as they always do for those whose hearts yearn for adventure and glory. Though I need not say more of your future, for all that I have spoken of, all that I have seen, shall be revealed to you in time.
And there you go. Of course, that was the Gloomfrost Seer, speaking to us even from beyond the void of death. Perhaps that narration took place before we even met her. Who knows? But here we are, the final credits of Icewind Dale. So there it is. That is yet another adventure complete. I can hardly believe it. And that sure was a wild one. Icewind Dale is one of my favorite games from my childhood, and I'm really glad that I was able to share it with all of y'all who were here for the entire ride. Those of you who only came along for the last few episodes, those of you who were here somewhere in the middle, I really appreciate you being part of the party and being part of the adventure as well. So I hope that this series of streams maybe encourages some of you who haven't to pick up Icewind Dale and give it a try, along with some other Black Isle games like Baldur's Gate 2, Icewind Dale 2, of course, and Planescape Torment. Not to mention that, you know, there are other games that are contemporary successors of these that are made by a lot of the same people, like Chris Avallone, whose name you'll see here multiple times throughout the credits. Because many of the people from Black Isle and from Troika and other similar studios, they went on to become Obsidian. And so that means that Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, Tyranny, if you haven't played that, Tides of Numenera, the spiritual successor to Planescape Torment, definitely. All great games, all done in this style, all worked on by many of the same people, and cannot recommend them enough. So, yeah, if you want to check that out, as always, the link to buy Icewind Dale is going to be below the description of the video here once this is on YouTube. I'm not sponsored, but definitely, you know, grab it on GOG or grab it on Steam, wherever you get it. Take a chance, play it yourself. And it's got a lot of replayability, since there are many hidden dialogue options and Easter eggs and special quest endings that are available only to certain races, certain classes, certain alignments. So it is worth playing more than once, as I have played it more than once, and I will play it again, I'm sure, at some point in the future. But just like with Might and Magic 6, this was a playthrough that will never happen again, because this is the first time that I got to play it with all of your participation. So I really thank you for being here, for subscribing to my channel on Twitch, for subscribing and giving me likes and comments on YouTube. And also make sure that you give me a follow over on Twitter, on Facebook, on Pillow Fort if you use that. I am in all of those places, and all my social media I try to link it to one another, so you can find the links to all of those on any of them. And that'll be it for Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. So thanks for being along for the ride, and I will be back next week, Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with a new adventure. We will be starting Might and Magic 7 for Blood and Honor, because that was the runner-up in the Twitter poll where Icewind Dale was chosen. So I hope that I'll see you there, and I want to say, just, it's really great. It's really great to see so many returning fans, to have so many kind messages from y'all. And I appreciate all the retweets, all the subscriptions. You know, every time that somebody jumps in and watches one of my streams, it really touches me, and that's why I keep doing this. It is fun, so thank you so much for giving me the chance to share something that I love with all of you. I hope that you love it too, and as always, thanks for playing.